us. Pradeep, good afternoon. First on Nifty, it's just moving in a tight range, so don't expect any major movement up or down unless there is a big event.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pankaj. On Friday when I was last on your show, I had mentioned that 8300 is where 34 DMA is placed, and that will happen. That will work as an immediate resistance. And simultaneously, I had mentioned that 8150 is the immediate support on the downside. So this 150 point range still persists. I think 8150, which I mentioned, is the immediate support on the hourly chart. And once that is taken out, then that will confirm a sell on hourly charts. And in that case, we can see another downside till around 8060, which happens to be the bottom made in early December. So yes, as you mentioned, we are trading in a narrow range of around say 150 points, and we need to break above 8300 or break below 8150 for a fresh directional view. Till then, it's a no trading zone for Nifty.
What do you do with something like a Coal India, 4% down, but just on a tactical basis, the dividend yield now starts to look very attractive.
So technically, it found, when it was moving higher, it found resistance exactly at 20-month moving average, which was placed around 340, 350 area. So since then, it has been moving lower, and it is not showing that kind of strength. So that happens to be very crucial resistance area. On the way down, a strong support emerges around 270. So I think 270 to 340, 350 is the range which I see Coal India trading in. But from the very short term perspective, after today's move, it has generated a sell on daily charts. So I would expect that it would now move towards the lower range of the trading consolidation phase I mentioned, that is 270. So from the very short term perspective, I would bet for 270 kind of levels going forward.
Right, but does that necessarily mean that it's a sell as well, or you would not sell if you have not today, or wait for a bounce before you sell for a target of 270?
No, in fact, with the kind of volume it has gone down today, and as I mentioned on daily chart, it has clearly broken down. So from a very short-term perspective, I would be comfortable going short with an appropriate stop loss of say around 299, 300, and bet for 270 as a target on the way down.
Right. What do you do with something like an Axis Bank now? It's going against what banking names are doing now. But in the recent few days, the correction in this name was also very sharp.
Yeah, and that is precisely the reason for the bounce back. It was quite oversold, and on daily chart, it formed a positive divergence couple of days back. So we were expecting this bounce back. But now this bounce back is heading into a tough resistance in the short term, which happens to be its 34 DMA placed around 472. So I think 472 it needs to be crossed before we take a short term positive view. I think this is just a pullback rally, and Axis Bank should most probably head back to the lowest low it touched in recent past, that is 440, and even breach that and make a lower low. So we are from a short to medium term perspective bearish on Axis Bank and would not buy into this up move.
Right. How would you look at mid cap IT? Can you just look at the chart of Mindtree and tell us what's happening? Is it still tactically positive?
So this is a stock where we had seen a very steep correction over past say 1 year or so, and then from the oversold territory it's generating a bounce back. So from a largest perspective, it's still trading below its 200 DMA. So from a larger perspective, we are still bearish on the stock. From the very short term perspective, it is showing positive signs on daily charts. So this short term up move can last a bit longer and can take it to around 550, 560 kind of level. There one should start getting cautious.
Right. Just stay with us, Pradeep. About 2 minutes remaining for markets to shut. I'll just come back to you after that. So Nifty is down about 40 odd points. Not looking that good, not looking that bad. ICICI on your screen is down 1.2. ONGC is down close to 2%, 305. SBI is down about 1%, 8 million shares traded. Tata Motors is up about 0.25%. Idea Cellular is up 0.25%. ITC is down about 1.3. Hindalco 175, 176, and Reliance is up about 1.7, 1,057 for Reliance Industries. Power Grid 182, 4 million shares traded. Tata Steel 3 million shares, 3 rupees down. Sun Pharma was among the gainers yesterday, but today it's declining slightly, about 6 rupees lower. NTPC 2 rupees on the lower side, 2.7 million shares traded. Bank of Baroda 2 rupees down 158. Adani Ports 2 rupees down 2.4 million shares for that name. HCL Tech 2.6% higher 822. Yes Bank down about a percent. Z flat. HDFC Limited down about 0.6. Tech Mahindra down 1.7 476. BPCL down 1.5 620. And Bharti Airtel was also down about 1.8 323 for Bharti Airtel. Ambuja Cement, HDFC Bank down about a percent each. Wipro up about 0.5. So in 2 days, Wipro has done quite well. TCS is also up about 6 rupees today, but since morning, it's just trading into that flat range. Kotak Bank down about 0.14. Bharti Infratel 0.18% higher. Cipla down 2%, 568, and M&M up about 7 to 6 rupees. HUL 6 rupees down 825. Hero MotoCorp down about 1.3%, 3,100. Lupin 8 rupees decline 1485, and Grasim flat with a positive bias. ACC is down 2%, 1310. Ultratech is down 1.4%, 3300 for Ultratech. Bajaj Auto down about 0.3, 2650. Eicher Motors down close to 2%. That's the closing bell, 37 points down, 100 points down for Sensex as well. We'll get the adjusted closing in just a bit. The top loser today, of course, was Coal India, and that was backed by results and the results that they have declared. It has led to 5-6% EPS cut, so it's down about 4%. Bosch is down about 2%, 20,345 for Bosch, 2.7% lower. Aurobindo Pharma, there was some news flow, then the management clarified, but still no recovery, 701, 3 million shares traded. Eicher Motors is down 2.4%, ACC is down close to 2%. ONGC is also among the top losers. ONGC and some of the other oil names actually corrected slightly today. ACC on your screen down 2%. ONGC, very strong volumes, 305. Tech Mahindra down 2%. Bharti Airtel down about 1.8%. 323 for Bharti Airtel. Cipla was also down. Power Grid, IndusInd Bank were some of the other losers. Let's look at some gainers as well. So Axis Bank, 3% move. 466, 467 for Axis Bank. 12 million shares traded. I think in terms of volumes, it would be one of the best volumes day for Axis Bank. I'll just confirm that for you, looking at the NSE history. But very, very strong volumes for Axis Bank, and the volumes were better than 10-day average. Not very higher than 10-day average, but are decent. So about 8 million is broadly the 10-day average. They did about 11 to 12 million. So the delivery stats today could be interesting. HCL Tech, 3% higher, 822. Reliance Industries, another oil name, 1.5% higher. Tata Power, Infosys, Asian Paints are some of the other gainers. We were talking to Pradeep, he's still with us. Pradeep, Reliance Industries, every time it goes to 950, 975, it tends to see some buying?
Yeah. I think if you look at all the Nifty sectoral indices, Nifty Energy Index is showing a lot of strength. And, coupled with the crude oil prices, which have broken above 50 and they are sustaining above that. And I think the next logical target for crude oil also happens to be around 60 kind of area. So I think this is one pack which promises to be a stronger one among this turbulent market. Reliance, I think after consolidating near its 200-day moving average, has clearly shown signs of strength. It is sustaining about 200 DMA, and today's volume and the accompanied up move suggests that more up move is coming. I think 1126, which was the top mid in October earlier this year, that happens to be next logical target. So I would be comfortable playing long on Reliance with a stop loss of around 200 DMA, which happens to be around 1010, 1014.
Pradeep, thank you so much for taking out time for us. Always a pleasure.